Hi friends, it's Linda here with you for another elemental pick a card reading. If it's your first time watching these readings, they're designed to give insight on different areas of life according to the element governed by those areas. So you can watch the whole reading through to get a well-rounded take on energies that may be at play in your life at the moment in different areas. For example, fire would cover sexuality, passion, creativity, and challenges. Earth will cover career, work, finance, and home life. Air will cover communications, concepts, ideas, thoughts. And water will cover emotions, feelings, and relationships. So watch all the way through if you want to hear insight on all those topics, or if you just want to have a quickie for today, watch the reading that governs the element that governs your sun sign. And we'll get started right away. Let's have a look at fire. We have Ace of Swords reversed, the Magician upright, the Empress, wow. And we have the Hermit reversed, Strength reversed, King of Cups reversed, and the Moon reversed, wow. A lot of major arcana energy in this reading. You can see the bottom row is all reversed. That doesn't automatically mean that there's a negative connotation or a negative reading here. Let's see what's going on. So, fire relating to challenges or passions or sexuality. Let's see. Well, from the first row here, you can see with the Ace of Swords reversed, it could be that there is an issue with truth, with honesty, and with the Magician and the Empress there. What I feel is that. And I mean the reading overall with all this major arcana energy, there's the feeling of there being a lot of highly charged, powerful people coming together for a common cause is really, really real and really evident in this reading. That's what I'm feeling straight away. People in positions of power, people who are leaders, people who are maybe not necessarily people who are leaders in a traditional sense, but individuals who are in themselves empowered and have skills, people who are skilled, people who have knowledge, specifically knowledge from traditional places, not necessarily, when I say traditional, I mean earth wisdom or cosmic wisdom, traditional in the sense of people who understand spiritual energy. That's how I'm reading the Magician at the moment. Like people who understand real magic, people who have experience in practicing that magic. I feel like the Ace of Swords in this reading is indicating the issue, and the rest of the cards are kind of helping us to understand how to resolve or how to solve the solutions, right? So in the bottom row, how I'm feeling this is that I mean, the Moon I would put together with the Ace of Swords here as sort of the issue, let's say. So Ace of Swords, it's about truth. It's about the lack of truth, perhaps. Or it's about, information that was once hidden with the Moon, now being revealed and coming to light. So what was in the shadow, what was in the dark, now being revealed, and people understanding that they need to apply wisdom to the situation because that is the most powerful and purest way of healing or resolving a difficult issue. Hermit and Strength here together. I'm hearing nurturing, but I'm feeling that's more coming from the Empress energy. I feel like these two cards, Magician and Empress, as well as Hermit, Strength, and King of Cups, are all sort of describing different types of archetypes that are coming forward or need to be embodied in order to deal with the Ace of Swords reverse and the Moon reverse, which are kind of describing the issue or the energy that's unfolding. So Hermit reverse with Strength reverse is interesting. The energy I usually get from the Strength card, and particularly when it's in reverse, is that there is a real strong need for sort of understanding that sometimes animal instinct or that animal response that humans have sometimes needs to be tempered in order to rise to a higher level of consciousness and channel energy of wisdom in a way that overrides a gut instinct or an animalistic urge. I feel that that's relevant in this reading. Bringing the energy of the wisdom of the Hermit and the emotional intelligence of the King of Cups together with the skills and talents of the Magician and the nurturing and healing energy of the Empress to come together and combine to address places where the truth has not been evident, and to bring the truth into light. I think that's the role of the Magician and the Hermit. To nurture and heal those who have been suffering under that mistruth, the Empress and the Strength card. The King of Cups is also bringing a need for accessing a higher emotional intelligence and wisdom to be able to persevere through a difficult healing process or healing crisis. Because I feel with this Ace of Swords being revealed, it's actually just the tip of the iceberg, because all of this mistruth that's been hidden for a long time will take some time to fully emerge and move into the light where it can be illuminated. And so there's a need here for, I feel, endurance. That's what the Strength card is also. The Strength and King of Cups are both talking about endurance. The King of Cups in an emotional way. Emotional endurance is really important. Yeah, the gifts and talents of many people need to come together. I'm hearing arise. Many people need to come together to solve a difficult issue. I'm feeling like a high council kind of energy here with this. So I feel like we all have access to these kinds of resources within us, you know, the tools that the Magician has, the skills and the talents, the healing and nurturing energy of the Empress, the wisdom and understanding of the Hermit, the strength and tenacity and courage of the Strength, the emotional endurance of the King of Cups. We all have elements of all of these inside of us, and this is a time to learn to really dig deep to access those skills and to hone them right now in a pretty rapid way. You know, it's needed right now. It's time to really, everyone needs to kind of step up, I feel, in this excessively challenging time, to rise up and find within us the tools required to problem solve and troubleshoot and be innovative in the seeking of solutions that will care for and nurture everybody. You know, sometimes when a mistruth is discovered, or something dark and deep that's been hidden is then revealed, sometimes the shame or the pain or the difficulty that emerging information brings can prolong the healing crisis, because even though it's been revealed, people may still seek to hide from it. But that only makes the healing more difficult and more lengthy. Raw honesty is always the fastest way to clear karma and to rise up to be in your most empowered, whole state. I feel that's it for the fire reading. I know that was a little abstract and vague there, but I hope you found something in there that can work for you. Let's take a look at the earth. We have Judgment, 7 of Coins, 6 of Coins reversed, Queen of Pentacles, Death reversed, Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Empress. Wow, this is really interesting. So for the earth element, which as I mentioned covers very earthly mundane things such as work and career and finances and home life, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 earth cards plus the Empress, which is very earthy, very Venusian. And again, seeing Empress a second time after having just seen her in the fire reading. So what's here is, it kind of feels very much like what was just given in the fire reading. Like this Judgment card for me feels like at this point very much like the Ace of Swords reversed in the last reading. It's like a revelation, you know, a revelation of that which has been hidden or concealed. Something very difficult emerges because an awareness of something being untrue or false. But in this reading, and then in this card, you see this snake shedding its skin, and with the Death card mirroring it here as well in the reading in the second line. There is an energy of transformation, transmutation, and alchemy. And that's what I feel like, again, the energy of all these major arcana cards and these archetypal forces in this reading are offering support of an archetypal shift or an upgrading energy into a more whole and purified and more realized state, which is possible. And I feel like these earthly energies on the bottom row, these 3 here, even the seven of coins, they all are talking to me about patience, about stamina, about endurance, about a long game, you know, the need for patience, endurance, and fortitude, tenacity. All these kind of qualities are going to be much needed in order to sustain a healing process. Because what this Judgment card is expressing, as did the Ace of Swords in the previous reading in the fire spread, when the truth is finally revealed, especially when a lie has been held for so long, it can take some time to really embody that new understanding. Because sometimes there's so much fragmentation or scaffolding that's built around the lie that it takes time to kind of rebuild a secure, stable foundation to create upon, because that's fragmentation or that scaffolding of lies being built upon lies takes some time to dismantle and deconstruct. And a new balance needs to be brought in with the 6 of Coins here in reverse. There's been a long period of imbalance that needs to be restored. So patience is required. Patience is required. But along with patience being needed here, I think what's also important, and maybe more important, is the knowing that a new paradigm is actually already existing, and you're just walking into it. You're walking towards it. Maintaining an energy of hopefulness and knowing. It's about knowing that a new reality is available, and it's just about breaking down the old structures, the old system, and letting it return to the earth so it can be regenerated and composted, you know. Using courage, applying courage and wisdom and patience to a journey that will take some time to undertake. That's the Knight of Pentacles. He's in it for the long haul, you know. He's slow moving and steady. But unlike the knights from the other suits, he doesn't flash and burn. There is a stability and a patience and a knowing and a calm, quiet, steady, daily practice of moving forward towards a goal. And that's what's needed here. You know, healing is a journey. You don't, like, healing is life. Life is healing. You know, there's no end point really where you arrive at a place and then the job's done. And I don't say that to sound disheartening or to you know, strip away some of the magic and mystery. It's to encourage you to understand that it's an ongoing process forever, and that ought to be something to look forward to and be excited by, and not something to dread and try to avoid. Yeah, it's interesting that there's so much earth energy in this earth reading, and I really like that. I feel like there's a beauty and a luxury there that we're sort of stepping towards by opening to this awareness that there is things to dismantle, there is truth to be revealed that is more relevant than the lie that has been held for so long. And that should be a very comforting thing. So, tapping into the energy of judgment and death, use that archetype of transmutation, transformation, alchemy, the verdant desire for ultimate truth to be realized, and continue with patient daily actions towards a goal. Don't give up. The new paradigm and the healed state that you're seeking already exists. You're moving closer to it day by day. Okay, Earth, that's your reading. This is the Spolia deck if anyone's interested. I really like these cards. I just got them recently. Okay, Air. Page of Swords reversed. The Hermit. It's interesting there's been a lot of repeat cards in these readings today. Ten of Cups upright. Knight of Swords reversed. Wheel of Fortune reversed. Five of Pentacles and Ten of Cups. Look at that. Ten of Cups twice in the same part. Alright. So Air, if you remember, covers communication, thought, ideas, concepts. So, what I'm feeling here, because we have both the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords in reverse in this reading, I feel that some kind of challenging or uncomfortable communication has perhaps come through, or if not that there has been some painful or challenging communication, I feel like you may have overheard something, or there could have been some piece of information might have come to you recently that really hurt your feelings, and that maybe has made you pull away from a person or a group of people because you're feeling hurt by what you overheard or what was said to you directly. And that maybe have put you into a space of withdrawing, as with the Hermit energy here, and with this Five of Pentacles here. I feel like some of you have withdrawn or have kind of gone into your own space, maybe closed the door to someone, and are using this time to really dive deep into what your reaction to a communication means to you, right? Like, how I'm seeing this, and because you have both these two Ten of Cups coming here in the outcome of the reading, it's actually it's a very healing situation, and it's very beautiful how you're converting. What I'm seeing here is that whoever's watching this reading that's relating to what I'm saying here is that this particular situation is helping you understand how far you've come in your emotional intelligence development. Because while this event would it have happened 2 years ago, you might have spent months spiraling into a really dark place and feeling very withdrawn and depressed and isolated and maybe using substances or coping mechanisms to mask or hide your pain from yourself. But here I'm seeing you use this opportunity to dive deep within and actually study yourself and see how you're it's almost like you're able to kind of just ever so slightly withdraw a little bit from not in a bad way, like not in a dissociated way, but in a kind of how do I describe that? You're just kind of zooming out. Instead of running away, you have pulled away, but not in a like avoiding way. It's more like you're using this time and space to actually really examine what your reaction has been to a situation. And it may have made you feel some pain, but I don't feel that you're avoiding that pain. You're actually using that as a tool to understand how this event or how this communication is shifting your path ahead. Whether it's about how you relate to those individuals, or whether it's about how you have seen or started to fully understand a particular pattern that you may have recognized here in this situation, of how you may have normally reacted to a certain type of event, and maybe you've caught yourself this time before it went down that road, and you're now making a recalibration and adjustment so that instead of turning something that was maybe a really minor comment or something off the cuff or some kind of really small detail that you might have in times gone by blown it up to be something that it's not, or turned it into a story that would then cause you to self-sabotage. Here you're catching all of that before you get swept away in some action where you might sort of turn an event into a situation where there's no going back from. But you catch yourself and realize what's happening as it's happening. It's very lucid. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a very lucid experience that you're having. And yeah, there may be something painful there. I'm not saying that there is. I'm not saying that there isn't. But I'm feeling like you're seeing it more for what it is, and you're understanding better who you are and how you're reacting, and catching yourself in a really profoundly lucid way to redirect energy so that it doesn't stay in this space of like, woe is me. Rather, you convert it into this energy of like, you understand that you're all the cups are full. You are whole. You are contented. Doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter even what people think about you or have said or done or not said or done. You know, it doesn't affect who you are. Like you are who you are, and you are loved and you are lovable. And you might have caught something there that if you weren't so self-loving and as secure as you are right now, you might have spiraled off into a long and deep dive into a place where it would take you quite some time to come back from. But here I'm seeing your awareness and your lucidity and your clarity and your understanding of exactly what's happening. And this is a moment here that's very actually profoundly important to take note of and acknowledge for yourself how far you've come. Just give yourself that moment right now to acknowledge how far you've come in your own personal and emotional development. That you're able to do this, to catch that moment before you take off into some really deep, dark, self-sabotaging road. And come to the understanding that whatever it was or was said, even if it was about you, but you're not creating a movie in your mind that gives you the permission to write somebody off, or to, eliminate yourself from a group of people, or to isolate yourself because you feel really sad and lonely and depressed. No. That's the old you. That's the you that you've long outgrown and developed out of. So here you are with the two Ten of Cups, fully realized, fully embodying. It doesn't mean that you don't ever feel pain. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you catch yourself before you let the mind run away into a really dark and unhealthy and wrong place. It's not right. It's incorrect. It's not true. You know what I mean? to make assumptions about what somebody meant or thought or was actually feeling when they did or said something, because you don't know that. You don't know. You can't make those assumptions. You have to stay in your own energy. And don't take on board what you think another person has done or said in terms of how you think it relates to you. All right. I feel that's it for this air reading. Just going to check it again. Yep. All right, let's move on now to water. Water. Three of Wands in reverse. Wheel of Fortune again. There's been so many repeats in this spread today. There's Death again. Wow. Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands reversed, Two of Wands reversed, and Nine of Cups upright. Okay. Seeing the Death and the Wheel of Fortune coming out, it feels like there's such a carryover from one element to the next in this reading today. This one does definitely feel connected to the air reading for me. It's like what we just talked about there. It's kind of similar feeling here with this Nine of Cups upright. Like you have allowed a situation to be a marker for you being able to really clearly see how far you've come in your own personal development. There is a definite shift here that's happened by your conscious will. It's interesting they have Ace, Two, and Three of Wands in reverse in this reading. But again, I'm not necessarily making that a negative read. It's just interesting to see it there. I feel like there's an energy in this reading where maybe a decision that you made, you maybe have changed your mind about, and that's actually shifting your direction in a really positive way here with the Nine of Cups at the outcome. I feel like for some people watching this reading, you may have been on the course of a path where you had made a decision that was the, how do I say that? It's like someone that you're close to wanted something that involved you, like they somehow either needed your approval or needed you to say yes to something so that they could also move forward with it, like they needed you to be on board with it. And I feel like you had said yes prior, but after some contemplation you may have realized that actually no, that's not correct for you, that you realize that's what that person wanted, and maybe you were being a little bit coerced into something that you actually didn't want to do in order to support and satisfy someone that you cared about. You kind of said yes to go along to kind of help them on their path. But here I'm seeing that you may have realized that actually isn't your path to walk, and so you've changed your mind about something, and that is very healing to realize that. Again, it's this level up moment where something really vivid is happening that you are behaving very lucidly about, and you're able to communicate with clarity to someone who it's not an easy communication. You have Death as well in reverse. Like I feel it's not easy to tell this person that you've changed your mind, but you know you have to do it because this is important. Your wellness, your satisfaction, your wholeness, your self-esteem, your self-love is what you want to nurture. And I think you understand that in by saying yes to someone else's vision or someone else's desires or someone else's wants, needs, and choices, in order to feel like you're supporting them, that you're kind of giving a little bit of yourself away. And you're not, again, 2 years ago that might have been okay for you, but not now. You've come too far. So here you are in your full glory, in your full realized glory, that your choices are more important to be in alignment with your soul's desire, with your needs, with your trajectory. And so changing your mind is the most important thing you could do here, and communicating that to someone here with this Queen of Swords feels really empowering. It feels really healing. And again, with this Death card in the reading, I feel like that is showing you how much you've come, how far you've come, how much you've transformed, how much you've healed, how much you've grown. That you're now able to be more proactive in the choices that you make for your own life and the direction that you take your fate. Beautiful. I do love the blue color in the sky of the Three of Wands card. It kind of reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune. It's very Jupiterian. This is, It's maybe a little bit purplish, but Jupiter is that really strong, vibrant blue color. And I feel that in this card. I feel like your choices here, your decisions. And look, there's butterflies in this card. I haven't seen that before. Let's see if it'll focus. There's something very transformative in this spread. Like your moment of realization that the choices that you make need to be for you. And you can love someone, but if you make choices that put someone else's path in a place that makes it feel like their happiness or their success or their spiritual journey or their development is more important than yours, is soul destroying. And you caught yourself in a moment here where you were about to do that, and you might have done that 2 years ago, but not anymore. So you've outgrown that kind of thinking and behavior. So this is a nice little checkpoint here where you can realize how far you've come and give yourself a moment of fully embracing and celebrating and giving gratitude and respect to yourself for how much work you've put in. And being able to see the evidence of that so clearly is really profound and very healing in itself. Okay, water, that's your reading. If you've watched through to the end, thank you so much. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I'll see you in the next reading.